Xdefiant released, and it's, well, let's say it's decent.
Hostile detected. Weapons hot.
The game has some technical issues which are common in the industry at this point. Bro, what the f? And the devs already celebrate that so many people registered right at launch. But it feels like the game doesn't have that amount of hype as I expected it to have. And it seems that not many FPS content creators care about it. Those who do though reviewed it and told us their first impressions. The majority seem to like it, despite the problems. But there are also some people who don't like it at all. Especially the new generation of COD players. Due to obvious reasons. I gave it a try, and yeah, what should I say? I smell a similar destiny to that of the finals. The finals, you remember? The game with no bugs, excellent movement, and perfect gunplay? It came out 6 months ago, and it's almost dead. Xdefiant has interested players for now. People are grinding it, but you'll see in a couple of months how players are gonna abandon the game slowly but surely. But why? Is it because of the powerful competitors? Are the big titles like Call of Duty and Counter-Strike, etc. too iconic to compete with? No. They ain't. In my opinion, Xdefiant left some marks in the FPS history, but it's also a missed opportunity that could have been a huge banger in the shooter industry if they fulfilled these 3 important things. Number 1. Time. It's April 2023. The gaming industry is in an ongoing identity crisis and shocks players with woke and profit-oriented decisions. Call of Duty disappoints fans with broken updates and unwelcome change of gameplay in their newest title, and Battlefield 2042 keeps getting better, but still remains trash. There's a lack of good shooters in the market. On top of that, gamers are right in the spring period where almost no games are released and the new ones become boring. If they ain't already boring, of course. But then, out of nowhere, Xdefiant spawns like an ordered menu ready to feed a hungry customer. Xdefiant gains huge amount of attention in a very short time and everyone talks about it. The FPS community prays about the game. Content creators tell how good it is and many people give it a try during the beta. And as soon as the beta ended, we waited impatiently for the release of Xdefiant. The months passed and we waited. And waited and waited. But then, no, another disrespectful controversy of Ubisoft. And suddenly we got a quadruple A title. Bro, what the f? And we continued waiting until finally they really another play. Man! Yep, another playtest. Again. But this time it was disappointing. No major changes, the movement got worse, the network got worse, and the image of the game just dropped down the reactor of the Death Star. Players were pissed, and some people gave it up. The game had been overhyped, a typical trend phenomenon. Yes, it improved a month later on release, and it was in a better state, but the negative feedbacks of the community were enough to destroy the game's ability to gain the attention of many casuals. No SPMM is good and fine, but it doesn't matter if only the cracks and sweaters, like me, play the game. They stretched the game for too long and lost our interest because of that. Not for everyone though, of course, but we know how sensitive people and how important first impressions are. Battlefield 5 and Call of Duty World War II are great examples for that. Timing was planned very bad for this game. Number 2. Gameplay. Good shooters these days have to be fluently. Fluent mechanics and animations represent the quality of the game. Xdefiant tried to fulfill this aspect with their engine, but couldn't manage to hold on that. Don't get me wrong, I didn't have any bugs with the animations. Yet. But you probably understand if I tell you that the game's animation feel like they got frames missing in it. It sometimes feel clunky and not refined. Not all of you care about that, sure. Some are fine with it, but with the next point, many would agree with me. For real, why does every FPS need to have specialists with annoying gadgets in it? I don't understand. I mean, it ain't like we don't have enough of them, right? It's almost the same as Black Ops 4. Just bring a normal run and gun game. Why is that so hard these days? In my opinion, the specialists are way too annoying, especially if you get the gadgets for free instead of doing something for it. But there's one last thing. The major problem of the game is that it doesn't have any long-term motivation. there's nothing to grind for. Objective gameplay never worked and not many people care about skins and achievements and stuff. We need something to play for in the matches. The Xdefiant fanboys can't hear it anymore, but yes, I'm talking about streaks, or more accurately, score streaks. Let me hear out. Instead of Call of Duty like streaks, why not turning the gadgets into streaks? We would solve two issues with one slap. The specialists won't appear frequently, and a topic about streaks would come to an end. But this begs the question now, why should they make diverse characters if the gadgets won't be connected to them? Well, this brings us to my last point. The first thing I noticed when I saw the concept of this game. Number 3. Skins. So, did I get this right? You bring out a game where different characters of your company's big titles are integrated as playable fractions. Create random skins with their specific theme and sell them to the player base. It's a great concept, don't get me wrong, I love it. But there's one thing that won't go out of my mind. Instead of putting in these random characters like Iselda and whoever there is, why don't you bring the protagonists and antagonists of these games? For example, Sam Fisher and his team from Splinter Cell on the hero side, and Joseph Seed with his brothers Jacob and John from Far Cry 5 on the villain side. I mean, do you have any idea how much money you would generate only with the existence of Vas Montenegro in the game? There are people who would buy every single item that is related to him, and I mean everything. Bring in a fresh skin, a related weapon camo, some familiar voice lines, and a famous emote, and you make more money with one bundle than all these nameless character skins combined. This is because we know these characters, they're familiar to us. We know their journey and have a relation to them. It's such an easy way to make lots of money and definitely the greatest missed opportunity for this game. Nobody can't deny this point. Absolutely nobody. I know some would come and say, yeah, but gathering these actors together would cost more money. Amanakoim, it's f***ing Michael Mando. His work gets you more money than you paid for it. Such a missed opportunity, Ubisoft. What a surprise, because it's actually something you would first think about. Money. Money! I hope Ubisoft fixes the game's issues and please the community as long as possible. Black Ops 6 is coming soon, and if this game ends up good, I'm telling you, Xdefiant will be remembered as the game to play here and there, basically as a gap filler in the FPS market, and will end right next to the finals. I call it. See you in the next video.